And Darlene, you don't have to. I'll turn it over to you, Darlene. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning chat. Please remember that the first 15 minutes we just talk about X39. That's our mother patch, and that's the one we want to emphasize. And also remember, we do not name any diseases. We just want to give the symptoms and a short explanation of how you were before you started using the patch and how you were after. We also do not make any claims to heal uh, any type of disease. So, who's got their hand raised and would like to start us off this morning? The raise your hand symbol is down at the bottom. John, hi, John, welcome. Unmute and let us hear your story.
Thanks, Darlene. Yeah, I'm all excited about this weekend with the X39. I give it a lot of credit. Actually, three things. I'll make it quick. The first one is my infected tooth I had a couple of months ago. I made a dentist appointment, and actually, I figured out that the X39, that I could be, don't need a dentist to yank my tooth out. I can heal from within. So that's what I did. And I give the X39 a lot of credit for that, because my tooth is in great shape right now without any intervention. The second thing is my vision. I can read now, and I've been on the patch now for 14 months, the X39, and I can read without glasses now. My eyesight is just incredibly improved from 14 months ago. I have to have good light, and it's still an ongoing process, but I don't need glasses, but I still use them occasionally. The third thing is I played in a golf tournament this weekend, and my one of my playing partners' ball went about 225 yards out to the left into a waste bunker, and nobody could see it. And I said, I can see it from the tee. I could spot the golf ball from the tee where I could. My eyesight just keeps getting better and better. So that's kind of my story.
That is fantastic, John. Two great different types of stories, repairing a tooth and your eyesight. Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We don't have any other hands up right at the moment, so I'm going to tell a couple of our testimonials. My husband was diagnosed with a problem that where fluid builds up in the back of your eye, and they give you shots directly into your eye to clear up that problem. And he got shots in his eye for 9 years, every 8 weeks approximately. And we started wearing X39, and 3 months later, he didn't need a shot. And that has been 4 years this past November since he's had to have a shot in his eye. And for the first year, we didn't wear anything except X39.
Wow. That's fabulous.
Okay,
We
we've
need
got
some
lots
hands
of
up.
people on here. We've got to have some stories you want to share. Okay, Ken, I saw your hand raise up with that. Go ahead, unmute. You're still muted, Ken.
Here we go. Now you're on mute.
Now can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, I actually have what my neurologist calls a late occurring form of multiple sclerosis, MS. And for 9 years, he's been measuring my strength after having monthly IVIG infusions, which are terribly painful. And the side effect profile is horrendous. I have projectile vomiting for 2 days and headaches afterwards. But on September 20th of last year, my wife and I went there because we've been using the patch, and she noticed that I was doing better after each infusion, that I was actually getting physically stronger. So this neurologist measured me right in front of her my upper body and lower body strength. And he was astounded. He said, Ken, for the first time in 9 years, your strength has significantly improved. And so he suggested, he said, well, let's try this. Instead of doing these infusions every 4 weeks, let's switch to every 6 weeks. So since September 20th, I've had 2 infusions and I've done them 6 weeks apart. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to not have to go through that quite as often. And I've been now on the 39s for 10 months. Also, I don't have to have a titanium hip in my right hip like my little brother had to do. Also, the cataracts in my left eye have cleared up, which has astounded my ophthalmologist, who actually did my right eye in 2022 with laser. But now every time he checks it, he says, I've never seen this before, but these cataracts are no longer there. They've gotten so much better that I don't have to do the surgery. So you'll never get me off these patches ever.
That's wonderful, Ken. And I know that those injections were probably awful to go through. So it is a great story. Thank you for sharing. Okay, and as a reminder, please remember, we don't name any disease, just give us the symptoms. Okay, David, you're next. Unmute.
Awesome. Hey guys. I have a couple stories. It's been a couple months, but one time I woke up and the room was spinning or I was spinning, not sure, but whatever it was, everything was going around and around and around. And I didn't want to, I kept waiting. So, okay, is this going to get better? And nothing happened. So I took an X39 and put it on the back of my neck. And in super short time, maybe 30 seconds, a minute, something like that, it stops spinning, or I stopped spinning, something like that. It just got back to normal. It's like, wow. And it was just a fluke. I don't know where it came from. But also, I use a couple of the 2 flagship patches, but the X39. And when Dave was doing the webinar, saying that the transition from not working out to working out, or working out to not working out to working out, is seamless. And I know for about a month or so, I didn't go to the gym at all. And when I went back, I was in one of my routines to just get on the treadmill and run. And prior to the patches, well, not prior to and during the first maybe 6 months of the patches, I could only run at a speed of 3.5 on the treadmill, and it all of a sudden went up to like 5. Now I'm at 6, 7 for and it's as though if I don't go to the gym for a while and I go back, it's the same. I don't lose that stamina.
That's fabulous.
That is great story.
David.
And you're next.
Good morning. Back in 1996, when I was 38 years old, I had female problems and I had to have reproductive organs removed. Well, that created a side effect of a hormone belly. I have had this belly since then. No amount of exercise, weight loss, nothing would remove it. Since starting X39, my belly's going down.
That's
It's getting,
great.
it's getting smaller, which means that my hormones are getting in what they should be. And when I started X39, I had an extremely bad back pain. I could hardly walk. I wasn't walking. And now I'm able to walk. I've started an exercise program, and X39 has just made a big difference in my life.
Wonderful. We all have had great stories how what X39 has improved our lives. It's a miracle, but it's science. Thank you, Anne. Orla, you're next. Unmute and we should be able to hear you. Can you find the unmute button, Orla? Down probably in the left corner of your computer? Well, how about we go to Kamei and we'll come back to you.
Good morning. How are
Good
you all
morning.
this morning? I wanted to share my story. I've been on the patches since September of 2022, and I have had 55 years of chronic pain, moderate to severe, differing types, joints, tissues. My back is extremely crooked, and the doctors wanted to fuse my back from my tailbone up to my neck and fuse my SI joints in place and replace all of the discs in my lower back to quote unquote control my pain. I was on 8 different medications, and I had Botox injections in my back to keep it from spasming. So my friend Rosemary introduced me to the patches, and I ignored her for a couple of months because I didn't believe in anything that my doctor didn't tell me about. But I watched a couple of videos and I thought, Lord, what if this worked? You know, nothing else has really worked. And, you know, take into consideration, the doctor gave me 60 10 milligram oxycodones a month. So it's not like I was on Tylenol, the highest dose of Tylenol too. So I put on the X39, and I'm one of those one patch wonders. Sorry about that, guys. But it took my pain from a 7 to a 1 the first day, and I said, "You've got my attention." And since then, my back pain is controlled. The pain in my joints is gone. My bone density has increased. I'm just giving a summary. I'm off of all of those medications, plus out of 16 medications I took, I'm down to 3. My health is better. My energy's better. My sleep is off the charts. Just fabulous, fabulous things. And I have introduced this to probably, 300 people or more. And I have miracle stories from them too, that incurable lung diseases that are being reversed. So it's a fabulous product, and I thank God and thank David Schmidt for the creation of this fabulous product.
Yes, we all thank David. That he is an amazing person. Thank you, Kamei.
Mhm.
Anne Marie? Unmute.
Hi, good morning. I just couldn't get the button to work right. I have a story actually for a brand partner who just can't make it to this call. And it's pretty amazing. She is in her low 80s now and just started. Well, I'll tell you what was going on. She has recently been diagnosed with, and from some scans, with that situation that starts with an A, that you start to lose your memory. And she's at the beginning stages, but you do notice it when you talk with her. So we suggested that she could do the X39 and the carnosine. And she just started 3 days ago. Yesterday, she called and said, you know, this is amazing, but I'm trying to remember a short little verse it's an inspirational verse, and I tape it on the mirror in the bathroom so I can just see it and read it and then keep repeating it through the day. And she said, the minute I get out of that bathroom, I can't even, finish looking at that on the mirror. I can't even put those words together. I can't remember. It's a verse I really want to remember. That was before the X39 and the carnosine. 3 days. Yesterday, she went through the house all day repeating that verse. She got it to memory.
Fantastic.
She's pretty excited.
And you said she's in her 80s?
Her low 80s, yes.
Oh my gosh. I'll bet you I know a bunch of people who are in their 60s who can't remember.
No kidding. Yeah. So that was, everything that we followed, everything David Schmidt said, and all the, told her about it all, and, all the Zooms that have mentioned this kind of issue. And so she's just a really happy camper, and she's taken herbs her whole life. So she had a pretty healthy body, and that may be contributing to her fast results.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you.
Mhm.
We are past our 15-minute mark, so you can add in some of the other patches if you would like to right now.
That is like we planned it. That's perfect because my story includes 2 other patches. And this is a real-time story. And, knock on wood, but, I never get sick. It's like every once in a while I might get a little headache, and Robin reminds me to drink more water. I might get a little dehydrated. But I woke up in the middle of the night with a sore throat coming on. I could feel it. You know what that's like. Hurts to swallow. Feels a little swollen and, in the back. So I got up out of bed and I put on an Eon and a glutathione, went back to bed, went to sleep, woke up in the morning, and it wasn't worse. It was better. Okay.
Wow.
And then I thought, I hear all the doctors say, well, triangulate. So I thought, oh yeah, X39. So I triangulated. So I got X39, Eon, and glutathione. It's 80% better. Now, I will say that I've gargled with a little salt water, and I've sprayed a little colloidal silver down there also, which I know is good for sore throats and stuff. But, I just know because the patches, they just work for this. So just a real-time story of triangulating and beating a sore throat. Okay.
That's
my
great,
story.
Gregory.
Yeah, thank you.
Because you can't afford to get sick now. You got to take care
Who
of
wants-
Robin.
Who wants to get sick? Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anne Marie, do you have something else? Or did you just forget to take your hand down?
Just forgot to take my hand down.
Okay. Kamei, do you have something?
Yeah, I wanted to share a quick story, and it's early, but we had a meeting last Wednesday, and I had invited this lady who's new to Sun City, and she told me she couldn't drive. So, because she'd had an accident the year before, and she's still afraid. Well, she came to the meeting. I mean, I picked her up and took her to the meeting, and then we went to dinner afterwards, and she could not put 3 words together to make a sentence. You could tell she was really, really working hard mentally. So I put a 39 on her, and it was like 3:00 in the afternoon, and I told her to wear it through the night and just take it off the next night. She called me the next day and was telling me she had told her hairdresser about X39. And I'm telling you, it's like you and I sitting here talking right now. It was markedly different. And I was like, thank you, God. This is such a testimonial that if this product helps her, she's 75, she's got a long life ahead of her. If it helps her quality of life, what a miracle.
Yes. Doesn't it make you feel so good when you can patch someone and they see a result very quickly like that? It just warms my heart when I'm able to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, John.
Yeah, real quick, Gregory just reminded me of my story today is I very, very rarely get sick, knock on wood, just like him. And what happened, I could feel last night, I was coming on to just a little bit something different. And my throat was a little bit, I wouldn't say scratchy, but I could feel something. So I said, I'm taking Team Patch is coming in the morning. And I've got an Eon right here. I've got X39 on my and an X49. So I've got 3 patches and I feel amazing today. I mean, it's just amazing how you know, it's all up here, but that's because of these.
It's great how fast they work for us. Okay. Vanjali, is that how you say your name? Great. Unmute.
Yes, it is. Get it right. Speaking of being sick, I haven't been sick since 2017, but the reason why I wanted to share it, I was on last night too, but I had a whiplash, serious one in Wisconsin back in 2015. And 6 months later, I could hardly walk because it damaged my spinal cord. And I had a chiropractor up there help me, but I live in Florida. So I went to my regular chiropractor and he worked with me. And it's interesting. He put the patch on me without me knowing. Okay. He put it below my navel and then he does the methylation test. And he first tested all the supplements that I need. And then he put the patch on, the X39, and then he says, I want to show you, I wrote down half of what you need with the patch on. When he took the patch off, I needed way more nutrition. So then, of course, I did develop in 2020 cervical inflammation, and it was horrible. And he helped me with the X39. So he's the one that got me on the right track with all the patches. And then I used Eon, Carnosine. That was in January. And by April, I was swimming. I could do almost 15 to 17 laps
Oh my
in the
God.
pool. So I was pretty impressed. And my husband and I are basically free from any kind of pain. If we do have pain, we know what to do. And he's 77 and I'm 74 in March. So we're doing okay.
And you look really good for being 74. I think some of that reversing the aging process is working.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Okay, Jeannie.
Hi, everyone. First, I just wanted to share that recently I became more aware that I think a lot of us have been aware that chemicals are not that great for us. But for me, I've actually made the connection that they've actually been causing damage to my fascia and causing a great deal of pain. And let me see if I can tell this story shortly. I had an ear infection about 30 years ago, which I started patching using the X39 right behind my ear, on that little bone behind the ear. And what I've noticed is that has helped when I do get around chemicals that are harsh, that cause burning in the nose and sore throats. It actually helps me process those harmful vapors out of my body. So I've been using the patches for about 2.5 years, and I'm a 40-year traumatic brain injury survivor, and that's just one of many, many, many blessings that I've experienced with it. But I have one question for Gregory, if I can ask a question about the X30, about the energy versus the LifeWave. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah, go
that'd be
ahead.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was listening to, so I'm aware that the energy patch is the first patch.
Mhm.
and that the Ice Wave patch is like an enhanced or stronger version of the energy patch. Is the Ice Wave is an enhanced version of the energy. Is that correct, first of all?
It's a variation because
It's
they
a
both
variation.
work on a polarity, a positive and negative, brown on the left, white on the right. But the Ice Wave is really designed to minimize inflammation, where the energy is designed to increase metabolism, specifically catabolic metabolism, and start burning fat. So
Catabolic. Okay.
Mhm.
So that was my confusion, because
Mhm.
I hear that David Schmidt wears 2 energy patches a day, and I'm like, oh, if the Ice Wave's enhanced, why doesn't he wear 2 of those? But it's different.
Yeah,
Inflammation versus helping
energy.
the metabolism. Yeah.
Yep,
Thanks.
exactly. Great question. I'm sure that was helpful for everybody. Thank you.
John, this is Ken. I have a technical question. Could you help me with it? Hello?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so.
Well, I want to know what is the exact amount in voltage of force that is reflected back in from X39 into the serum. I'm very, very familiar with the heart because I spent 24 months working for the Japanese drug company, and I signed a contract that I do only work with the heart. And I know that the beginning of every heartbeat starts with anywhere from 25 to 30 microvolts, which is, 25 to 30 thousandths of a volt in the upper right-hand corner of the heart. And that's just an incredibly small amount of force when you think about that. That's what starts every heartbeat.
Yeah.
But does anybody actually know the number of either microvolts or nanovolts that an X39 contributes when it is placed on the back of the neck into the serum?
It's probably something we're all going to have to do more research on, because I've never heard of it being attributed to any kind of voltage. It's a frequency. And I don't think all frequency contains voltage, but I'm not an engineer or a scientist. But, I don't think there's a voltage, coming out of it, because there's no voltage in it. It's just reflecting back a frequency of light.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think it's voltage related. There's probably no measurable voltage coming out of it.
Well, you can get down to the photon level and say that that's what light is
Yeah, you're
photon.
right. Okay, so that's where you might know more about this than I do. So there may be measurable photons, but
Right.
and have you read the white paper, the X39 white paper?
No.
I would suggest you do that, because it's like 60 pages long, goes into great depths on the science and mechanics of the technology. And you might find the answer there, Ken. And if you do, please let me know.
Okay, is that available in the resources part of our back office?
Yes, it's in the resource library, probably under product materials. Does anybody know where the white paper, the X39 story, is specifically located for Ken?
Maybe if someone knows, they can put it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I'll dig into that, John.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken. Great question.
Okay, Perry, you are next. You have to unmute. Okay, while you're trying to figure it out, Perry, let's go to Kate, because we're getting close to the end of the call.
Good morning, everybody. I
Hi.
had the strangest little thing happen in the middle of the night last night. I jammed a thumbnail, a really sharp one, right underneath my eye, about a ½ inch below. And it hurt so bad and it stung. And I thought, well, I can't put the sticky part of my Eon patch on there. So I turned it over and put the shiny part right over it. And you can barely even, I had to hunt for it, but you can see the thumbnail hit it, but it's just this tiny thread-like line and it does not hurt whatsoever. And it was one of those yikes kind of moments in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Okay, I'm on.
Okay, Perry, go ahead.
Well, my grandson graduated from high school and decided to join the Texas Army National Guard. The night before he left, he went to town to see his friends, and he just had a panic attack all of a sudden. And he called me and he said, Mina, can I come by? I need some Mina love. And I said, sure. And when I opened the door, this 6-foot giant, physically fit redhead grabbed me and just started bawling into my shoulder. So I knew he was in a panic attack. And he said, I think I've ruined my life. I said, come on in and sit down. I got an Eon and an X39 and Pat. I mean, he was sitting there with his knees bouncing up and down and his hands were quivering. He was just shaking all over and bawling, and put him on there. And I said, now take a deep breath. I said, you're just afraid of the unknown. And Jack, you're physically fit. You hunt, you fish, you've done golf, football, basketball, baseball, and wrestling. You go to the gym and work out, and you're going to be a breeze and with boot camp. And right before my eyes, I mean, not a minute after I put him on, the knees quit, the hands quit, and he started drying his tears.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, he was literally in a panic attack. So thank you, Lifeway.
Yes. Okay, it looks like that's all the hands. So Gregory, we are at 9:32. So if you want to
Yeah.
go ahead and
Perfect timing.
call.
Thanks, everyone. And that's such a delightful, thank you, Perry, for sharing that. You know, we never should underestimate the power of the patch, right? For a lot of different ways. So tonight, on our Monday evening call, you know, we're in our book club, we're coming into the third law of Atomic Habits by James Clear. And that third law is response and making it easy to respond properly. And I think Ravel and Dr. Tom are teaming up this evening to talk about the third law. And I think we're also going to get some success tips from some of our Cancun, you know, trip winners. And I think Darlene's going to have a second round here this evening because she just crested over 75 points. And she was out of commission for a while with a health situation. So she had to work double time. Not only did she meet the 50 points, she got to the 75, you know, so she's taking her honey with her. Or I think you're taking your daughter.
My daughter.
Yeah, how exciting. So Darlene's going to share some of the ways, and I think Eva Love is also going to be with us tonight, who also got over 75 points this evening, sharing some of her secrets to success. And tomorrow evening, we have on our Tuesday evening X39 intro and health practitioner call, we have Dr. Jeff going to be with us, one of our all-time favorites. So that's pretty much it from Bozeman headquarters.
Hello.
Hello. So
I just figured out how to work this thing. I have a mini testimony and a question.
Okay, make it quick because we're a little bit over our time allocation this morning. Who's that speaking?
All right, Michael Mueller. I canceled my subscription a couple of weeks ago after a 6-month commitment. I just listened to this testimony call and I'm going to resubscribe.
Yay, Michael.
Fantastic.
I like to wear the X39 patch between my index finger and thumb on my right hand. Is that fine?
You can put the X39 anywhere on your body. David
Okay.
says it works no matter where you put it.
Okay. I hope that's quick enough. See ya.
Beautiful. That's great, Michael. Congratulations. Great decision.
betcha. Hey, props to Sarah Glenn too. She's a great sponsor.
All right. Beautiful. Okay, so if everyone would like to unmute and say their farewell, now's a good time to do that. Good day, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank
Wonderful
you all
call.
so much.
Bye.
Good to see y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
call.
Bye.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
X39 day.
Hey,
Bye.
Gregory,
Great job.
Monday.
Bye.
Gregory, please listen to your voicemail.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good call.
everyone from
Have a
Seattle.
lovely day.
Bless-
Bye.